Hey guys, welcome back to another Take 5. This video is going to be about for loops and basically for loops, while loops, and the do once that we have in blueprints. So we're going to start with the basic for loop. So the basic for loop is, if you're not familiar with for loops at all, I'll explain it a little bit for you. If not, if you are, then you can kind of move ahead probably. Um, so a for loop is something that you can call to do continuous amount of things over and over, and it's going to continue to do it until it's finished. So let's just say, for example, just something really easy and simple. Um, let's just say that you wanted to spawn uh, 10 bouncy balls, right? Let's just say you had a bouncy ball class or an actor that's a bouncy ball, or just a ball in general. It doesn't have to be a bouncy ball, whatever. So let's just say it's a ball. So you have a ball actor, and you want to spawn 10 of them. Well, then you would go for loop from the execution line. Let's just say event begin play. So now at event begin play, we would connect this and we would go 0 to 9. And oops, damn this thing. And 0 to 9. And for loops start at 0, and a lot of things in programming start at 0. So everything starts at 0. All of the values start at 0. So a lot of times when you're doing a for loop, you're just going to start at 0 and you're going to go to the number that you need it to go to. So it's like um, 0 to 9 would be 10, 0 to 49 would be 50, things like that. So anyway, for this for loop, what's going to happen is it's going to do this right here. It's going to spawn the actor 10 times, and then it's going to go complete. And it's going to go about its execution, whatever else is coming up after that. You can use the index here because this is going to be the index every time it's looping. It's going to give you an index right here, 0 through 9. And you can use that to do whatever you need to do. If you need to check it, you can say, hey, for each one of these balls, I want to do something. I don't want to do anything. But if it's equal to 5 or whatever, then you could say, just during that specific loop, I want to do something else. Things like that. And then there's a for loop that actually has a break. So if you wanted to do that until it reaches 5, you could say equals 5, and then if you did a branch, then um, you could say after 5, or if it's ever equal to 5, then I just want to come back here and break. And then what's going to happen is it's going to break out of the loop, do its completion, it's going to continue about the execution, regardless of however many loops are left. You could put that as number 1. It'll loop one time, and then it'll break, and it'll never complete the rest of the loops. Break loops are usually good for finding things and retrieving stuff so that it doesn't continue to look. Once it finds it, it can come back and go, okay, we found it. We're done. We don't need to continue to look for it once we found it. Then we've got more advanced loops like array loops, which take an array, and if you have an array, a value of, let's say you've got 7 items or 8 items in an array, and you, let me get rid of this here because it's making weirdness here, so let's do that. So let's just say you have 8 items in this array, and you want to, for each item in that array, you want to spawn an actor. That's what this is going to do for you. The for each is going to take that, and it's going to go, well, there's 8 items in there. We want to spawn each one. Every loop we want to spawn one. And you can even do stuff with the array element with that, right? So if you had, if these were materials and not integers, you could pass that material. That material would be the array element. You could pass that directly into the spawn actor with a exposed on spawn variable of a material. So as soon as that actor spawns, it's going to get that material and value, and you can use inside that actor that you just spawned. It might have some programming taking that material and applying it to itself or something like that. The break is going to be very similar. Once it reaches a specific thing, if you were checking indexes or if you wanted something to stop it, you could use that to break it. The while loop is going to do something while this condition is true. So say value is 0 or whatever. It's 8 actually. But let's just say it's 0. And you would say, I want to do this one thing until it's great, until this condition becomes false. And so what happens is you have to keep, anytime you use a while loop, you have to iterate on the condition every time. So you just go, is it less than 100? Okay, I want to spawn an actor and I want to increase it. Okay, is it less than 100? I want to spawn another actor and I want to increase it. And it's going to keep doing that until it reaches 100, and then it's going to complete because it's now that condition is no longer true. So the next and last thing is a do once, which is really helpful if you only want to do something one time, and then it kind of locks it. It won't let you do it again. It won't. The execution will not run through it again until you've actually passed some other execution line into the reset to reset it. So a lot of times I'll use do onces for blueprint UI buttons, so that people can't keep pushing the same button over and over again and have it do something that I don't want it to do. It allows me to put a timer on the button. You can help tell it do this one time and then set a timer, and then when the timer's done, it can reset the button. It can reset the do once. Something like that. It's very helpful. Um, so that's pretty much the gist of the for loops and things that we have available. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I'll see you guys in the next one.